All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to this March 2022 meeting. We've got a good crew here in the room, as well as we've got a few people here online. If you have any questions online, please just raise your hand and we'll get to it. I've got a speaker that's set up. So first things first, I'm going to share my screen. Sorry for all that. Trying to do it one screen. All right. So Mike Lawrenson has started a presentation for us. He'll come back here shortly. But we're going to talk about some topics from the EC in the short period of time. So first up, Katie. Yeah, speaker's right here.
All right. So just updates on recruitment and retention. We are still working on kickstarting the mentorship program. If y'all fill out that Google form, it would be really helpful. I think we might do that as a group or with the laptop soon. And that's just gathering information on referee of the week, which will be a social media presence, a way to, I think Joe will speak more on that in a little bit. Second part of it, if you want to be a mentor for other referees, so if you're a more established referee, you want to help out some of our newer folks, please let me know and I'll get you paired with people. If you are anyone that wants to be attached to someone as a mentee yourself, we call them proteges. We have a couple of check boxes on what you are looking for in a mentor so we can pair you appropriately. I got a question from someone on, is there a mentor for referee coaching? I think that can definitely be an option as well. So kind of in that extra box of what else are you looking for? Let me know specifically if you're looking for more. If you're a new CMO and you'd like some help with that, if you'd like a mentor for that, write that in that comment. If you're a referee and would like a mentor to help show you the ropes and talk to and everything else we talked about with the mentorship program, check those boxes so I can get you assigned to someone. Other than that, upcoming L1s, I need to check the date again real quick on that.
13th.
13th?
Was that
April? 30? Yeah.
I mean.
With the try, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so still waiting to hear back to confirm, but as of a previous meeting, May 13th is an L1 that Rugby Colorado is largely going to be hosting, for their try referees to move up to the level 10 referees. So once I take that L1 course, they will hopefully join our society or at least be qualified to referee games. Regis just had a new coach take over their program. He's getting back to me on some dates, looking at, again, the end of April for another L1 course. So kind of those two, still a little bit in the works. Once we have final dates, I will let y'all know so you can get out the word, or if you know anyone else that would like to join in on those courses.
Is there going to be somebody representative at both of those from RMRR to help maybe promote getting involved in understanding what the RMRR society does?
Yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine. So again, once we get closer to that date, if we have volunteers that want to go help out at that, I know Mark sometimes does some of the education. We can work as a group to figure out how we can support him and in that course, and how we can also help integrate those new people that are now taking the L1 into our society if there's such. So that's a great question.
Can you talk briefly about the difference between a mentor and a coach?
Yes. So currently a mentor is kind of someone that's a more informal help to a referee. So a lot of what that looks like for our newer referees is someone to reach out to you and see if you are on a game that weekend, kind of what are you nervous about? How can I help you ahead of the game? Ideally, if your mentor can go to that game, kind of talk you through maybe some warm-ups, some ways on, you know, how to manage your own emotions going into the game if you're really nervous. I know I was nervous the first time I went to be in the center of my first fixtures. Even the first couple, it can be helpful to have someone there just to talk to, not necessarily doing specific coaching, but just being someone to talk to and help you and support you. A referee coach is, I believe, always assigned by our society, or at least through the Ref Up program. That is someone who has been trained to give feedback on specific areas of the game. So while a mentor can give informal feedback on, hey, you had a lot of scrubs this game, a referee coach is more qualified to talk specifically about what your goals are for that game. If you're reaching them, how can you develop as a referee? So coaches are more developmental, more official. They have had training specifically for coaching. Mentors can be anyone, more of a support and retention, building community within our society so that we can all have a better time referee. Okay. Any other questions? I know Jimmy had a couple online. But does that answer your question, son? Perfect. Anyone in chat?
I'm going back to the civil one for and see someone's been there the rest of the follow up. The very last one that was done, that was kind of a large one. Do we have all those people registered? Or has anybody reached out to them to see if they want to register and kind of explain that? Do we have phone contacts to call them?
We have their contacts. We've reached out to them. Sometimes they take it as part of education and they just want to be able to take the class. And that's it. So we pester them a little bit and then we say, hit us up when you're ready, right? Right, guys?
Thank you, Russ. So the last education course that we're here with multiple columns, like Russ, you're part of that. I didn't hear. You're the last one here. Yeah, so but I have 10 registered, I think. Unless I registered. Well, okay, we'll circle back to that. But yeah, I have transcripts of everyone, and I send them Mark and Joe, and we call them and email them. I've sent many emails, trying to get them to do it. And I think some have signed up with Ref Up. I circle back again and sent everyone was listed in Ref Up, say, spring season getting going. Are you ready to do this? And I've gotten various responses like, yeah, let's go, to think about it, or like, no, I'm not ready to do it. And Katie and I are that.
Well, do you think if one more email saying, hey, we're implementing this new mentor program, that someone could be on the sidelines to kind of help you just go, prepare for that game and give pointers for, when you first get out there, what to do? I mean,
it's like that. Well, I mean, some of the objections we've gotten are from like on my ACL to I don't have time, and okay. I think we have led them to the oasis of refereeing, and I don't know when we get forced in the drink.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious because I mean, it's a case that's very intimidating. I still get nervous every single game.
I still get nervous every single game.
So, and if y'all are newer and are still working on joining, a couple steps, drop me an email at the recruitment email, and I can get y'all up to speed on that so you can start getting games.
Thanks, Katie.
Sorry, for the new, what was your name? Lucia. Just FYI, like, you don't have to wait for certified L1 for doing things for us. Like, there's roles we can put you in with match administration or just going out and learning and shadowing someone with these types of stuff. Like you only need to be a certified level 1 referee for contact rugby in the USA, which, like, there's things we can get going. So don't feel like, oh, I have to wait till May or whatever. Like, you're eager and you're keen, we'll figure it out. Right?
Cool. All right. Topic number 2 is just a brief thing. You can see it on in the video. I'm sharing my screen. Everybody here can see the information on Ref Up. Everybody can see it on the screen, right? So I'm going to make an edit here on Mike's comment. We are asking for everybody to, I can't, you only have me on comments only. Please put your miles in accurately. We are trying to get an actual idea of how everybody's mileage is set. We're looking to implement new policies as we've increased the pay, so we're trying to get that idea. So through Ref Up, the assignments go out, you bid about 10 days in advance, which is the Wednesday of the week prior, gets you a game for Saturday. Fill out your match report, that's how you get paid. You don't fill out your match report, you don't get paid. Make sure that your bank account is filled out. It's a direct deposit. And then finally, make sure that you're getting your pre-game confirmation. I don't know if there's who's on here right now for in terms of administration of clubs, but they have to email you. The goal is to email you by the Wednesday of the game, of the date of the week prior. So this is typically 3 days in advance. And then if that doesn't happen, then you send an email to ops, who then says, hey, what's up? Like, are we doing this? Because what we don't want to have happen is we don't want to have people show up to you not to figure it out. Charlie Jones, just to make sure 100% clear, Ref Up mileage is round trip. That is correct, Charlie Jones. So we use miles here in the great state of Colorado as well.
So that
yes.
So I did not get a signed roster. Is that requirement? How does that work?
It asks you if you got one.
So I didn't check.
But especially in high school, they all do it all online. So a lot of times they may not have it. Sometimes they'll have it, asking for it. If they have it, great. A lot of times you have it, you need it in case there's cards so you can cross-reference, you know, if you have a yellow or red card or anything like that, you can cross-reference things. At least have it on hand. That's great for that.
Also, with hopefully the union using Rugby Explorer, is all that stuff is done digitally. So I am coaching the Harlequins and Joe is coaching City, and we're playing each other, and we pull out, and that roster would be verified and scored. So in theory, when Rugby Explorer is up and running and the union is using it, like all of our yellow cards, red cards, those were all done. You just go and verify that it was Brighton, number 17, committing a tip tackle, and it's a yellow card, and Dale had a team competitive offside, and that's a yellow card, and that's all done through Rugby Explorer. I've yet to see it yet, but I've been sure that our unions are going to use Rugby Explorer. So really, the paperwork is not really a thing of ours.
Does our referee match report have a link to Rugby Explorer for that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. So once that rolls out and we're cooking with it, we'll build it all in. And then it used to be a thing like the reason we would need match reports is to get your membership ID, and then we would fill the membership ID out and say that Brian was a naughty boy, he's being disciplined, then the disciplinary committee have that. If that's all being done now, it's all done on time.
Yeah.
So we assume the rosters are okay.
Yeah, correct.
We're
not worried. We're not that worried about it, as long as you're not seeing, like, you know, drunk guy off the street going, hey, you've only brought 13. Want to play? Kind of deal. Other things that'll come in your slideshow in the meeting notes from today is how to get help for Ref Up, right? So some of us old heads, we know how it works, but some newer people, they don't know how it works. So Mike kind of walks through, shows you how to do the knowledge base and all that kind of stuff. Last comment. This is going to be more Paul, but this is about kit reimbursement. Go ahead, Paul.
All right, so over the last year, as you know, we've significantly brought out more kit. We've got polo shirts, we've got track suits. If you ordered a kit bag, they're in my car, so get them after our outside thing. Okay, so those are in and have your names on them and everything else like that. Recently, we ordered some t-shirts and some thermal warm-ups. Okay, so we have lots of stuff in the last year that we didn't have for a couple of years. And for some of those more expensive items, most of you, if not all of you, use kit reimbursement for some of that. Also, in this last time frame, we've doubled the amount of pay that you guys get per match, while significantly reducing the amount that we get to pay for development and other things like that. So in an effort to kind of make up for those losses, we are officially eliminating the kit reimbursement for existing referees. That is 5 games got you $50. Half the time people would kind of like not even remember how many they are, and then all of a sudden you get something like this, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I have some, and it's from like 2 years ago. You know, it becomes a nightmare for anybody to really keep track of. I didn't know this was going to happen, but it gave everyone an opportunity to get the kit bag and this and all that kind of stuff. We are, however, keeping the kit reimbursement for new referees because it gives them an incentive and a way to earn getting new Rocky Mountain Rugby Referee Society kit. So that is still in place, but if you're an existing referee from this point on, you guys are getting paid more than enough to pay for any new kit, including the shirts and anything else. So any questions on that? New to our society, which you don't have, like you're going to be a long-term member of our society, or you had just taken an L1 and you're trying to become an established referee.
Well, Lucas is new.
Yeah.
Jim is established.
I have that. I'm just saying, are you doing it for a year? If you're a new vet, get that for a year?
No,
or do you get it for 2 years?
No, it's right there.
The kit reimbursement's right there. It's after number of games you do. Yeah.
You do 5 games, which means that you're now no longer wet behind the ears. You're doing the games. Russ, you've done 1 game, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Correct. Okay. So you now have a $65 credit.
So I can order a shirt?
You can order a jersey.
Now, you guys can order a shirt.
You can order jerseys and then just send the receipt in later.
Yeah.
All told, after 5 credits, which is 5 games, in the middle, or as an assistant referee, as seen in credits defined, you then can have, you'll have $165 as for credit. So which would cover, if you look here, that would get you, so $65, that's a jersey. You can have a second jersey and a pair of shorts. You know what? I'm not going to do math. I'm not an engineer. So you get an idea. You will get 1 set of kits from top to bottom, and you're square, right?
You can order it now and then submit for reimbursement.
Correct.
After you've done all 9 of your.
I would highly suggest the way that I know that former recruitment officer Mike Lawrenson has suggested to new L1s is order your full set of kit, jersey, short, sock, hold the receipts, and submit them later. And once you go through those receipts, right? You plan on doing 5 games? Of course you are, right? Questions? All right.
Those we have to use thermals or something. Are those going to be up on there?
It'll be up. Yeah, it'll be up on there. It's not going to be so super custom orders. So that would be the sweatsuits and the bags. That was just done through us. The thermal layer. It's exactly supposed to be like what SIRS had with the sleeve, right? Except that it says, now you and I are not wearing SIRS gear, although you're wearing a SIRS jacket right now, jerk. So there's that. Same thing with the warm-up top. If you don't want to show off the guns, don't want to embarrass the players, that'll be up there as well.
Thing with the awful pyramid shape.
It's a angle different.
Yeah, just angles.
The way our kit works is like all the generic stuff that can be mass produced. Like,
yep.
We want that, we can throw it up there like socks.
Correct.
All the custom stuff like singlets and jerseys, we have to go, okay, we're running low on jerseys. We need to order 30 more jerseys, give it 10 medium, 10 large, whatever. So it's kind of hard to like figure out, you just can't stock it. So we have to like do a whole another order and say like a random jersey stuff, $10,000, we give them $10,000. You guys buy $10, build up our credit, then we can, it's like a snake eating its tail. We keep using that money to buy it.
Right.
In theory, and then you guys buying it and keep cycling it.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, like I don't know if you guys weren't around when Derek was here, he did a bunch of generic stuff at World Rugby Shop, which is like throw our thing on everything. And there's warm ups and all kinds of stuff, but it wasn't something. And I like supporting Gucci because Chris has been really good.
Yep. Questions? Just for everybody's comments on the things, this was because it was a change to our rules. We did have a vote, so that was through the governance policy that we have. That was our first vote of the year, third in 2 years. So, give you an idea. All right. So last year, Mike, want to come up? So last month we had a review of scrums. That's where the practical was. This is our review on the topic. You can, I'm going to have you can sit here. This is going to be our short review on the topic of about 7 minutes.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about lineouts. Everybody that's online, I didn't see that many people were online before. We will video that. That'll go up. That will be part 2. And then when we come back in, I'll record it again on Zoom. It won't be open to the public. And then that will be part 3. I send out all those links. You can also find all of our stuff like that online at YouTube.
RMRR TV.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube, type in RMRR TV. That's our YouTube page.
It's also linked in the show notes. So, Michael.
Oh, try not to do that.
Just slide what? Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
I did.
Oh, I'm gonna check something real quick. Oh, it's not through Google Slides, it's through.
What? Yeah, that's through Google Slides, man.
Where's the?
You want to say yourself, me?
You gave me the slide up.
Yeah.
Lodged in the slide up.
Okay, so where is it? It's normally up here though. It's normally here. You mean?
Slideshow?
Yeah, it's a special thing.
On the bottom left.
Yeah, logged in.
Do it quick.
Down there, right straight down the bottom.
I know what I'm talking about. This is a thing that gets you guys involved, so you guys can all play along. See what I'm talking about? All right. Yeah, okay, we'll try this. I'm not. This is my first time doing it, so we'll give it a go. Okay, Scrum Focus. So first day, obviously, it's a reset of play, right? But stability is the most important. So I think for me, what I've learned, what's helped the most is being really patient with the calls, right? You shouldn't move on from the calls until everybody is stable. So that means if you have to wait 5 seconds because they're shaky and they're new, wait 5 seconds, but don't rush them. Find stability in each of the calls. Go ahead, Jay.
It's also, if they're not getting stable, it's also okay to put a feet on the whistle, stand them up, and start all over.
Right, exactly, yeah. Because if we can't move on without stability, so that's why I got there 3 times.
There's a flanker when you in bind, and a flanker is like you just totally loose. Do you recall bind? You recall it, right?
You don't recall anything. If you feel like they didn't listen to you or didn't hear you, then you double tap and restart the whole process. Yeah, you never want to call it twice because someone might have heard you and begun that process, and then now you've said the same call again, right? So if you ever feel like you need to re-say something, just blow the whistle, restart the whole process. Safer that way.
Define again. They're expecting that.
Right.
You're gonna have people that and people that are expecting fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Once you say crouch, fine, and then the next word should be set. If you have to interrupt yourself, blow the whistle, please hold on. Thank you.
Okay, so
I hope not.
come on, you know. So anyway, set your standards early, right? So in the beginning of the game, you want to make sure that you show them that you have high standards, the scrum. So you want stability, you want the bind, you want them to wait. You do that early. Don't try and do that later. You must control the process of it starting. So resets are great, like we just talked about. When and why to use them. Again, we say why if it's unstable or you need to repeat something, but also, you know, resets really frustrate a front row. So it's a great tool to use, but you have to use it effectively. If you use it too much, you can really upset players because it is, for front row, very tiring to get ready, get set, and then not get to go. So use it effectively. If you want to get a message across, they will listen after a reset because it was frustrating that you stopped and they don't want to be stopped again. But don't reset and reset and reset and reset. Rather, at some point, just ping them and move on. Okay, we always want to reward legal dominance. This is a good one. A lot of times when you're not sure what's going, like you're not sure, like, oh, how did that collapse? If we're not sure and you see a team legally dominating the other team, let's reward that. That's good rugby. Let's reward that and move on. A lot of times what some refs will do will reset a legal dominant scrum that's collapsing the other side. Don't do that. Just reward the legal dominance and move on. Okay. There are a few dangerous plays that you can do in a scrum. I'm not going to go through them now. That's law 19.37. A few dangerous things you can do, like charging opponents or dropping opponents or angling in. Won't go through those now, but if you want to look at the law book, that's where you get them. Okay, this is what we're looking for, right? Everybody's stable, straight. You can see 2 is showing that the angle is straight. 3 is showing that there's a gap between the two. They're not leaning their head on the shoulder. They either tuck. You can be tucked under or have a small gap between them. In this example here, tied head from red, angling in, right? So we can ping that. Or here we can see the loose head. His shoulder is tucked underneath the hooker. You see the difference here? See his right shoulder? If he does that, he's always going to be angling in. The dangerous thing here is when number 5 goes in, a lot of times the loose head will have to follow him because he has nothing else to bind onto. And so it'll look like the loose head boring in, but it's actually the tight head's fault. So make sure you catch that. Okay. Okay, this is important. U19 variations. So a lot of us are doing high school games now that are going around. So not knowing the law is not an excuse. You have to know these are for safety. The reason why there's different laws. So you have to know the U19 law variation. So a drive of a scrum cannot go past 1.5 meters. That's 2 steps for you guys in America if you don't understand meters. So if they take 2 steps, you tell them to stop pushing. And most of the time, high school scrums will listen. If they do not, then it's a free kick. Okay. The ball cannot be intentionally kept at the 8-man's feet in U19. They don't want that pushover try in U19. Too dangerous. So you tell them to use it. What's penalty? This is not very common. An unintentional or legal wheeling of a scrum to 45 degrees is immediately reset with the same team put in. Okay. So a legal wheeling. There is illegal wheeling. You can look into the law about that in a little more detail.
So there's a legal and illegal
wheel. If they go beyond the mark and then turn, that is okay. But if you on the axis, you stand exactly where you are and you wheel, that is illegal wheeling. So you have to go forward.
Initial motion forward and then it turns.
Yes, and so wheeling is legal if it's done correctly, which is going forward and then angled. But you cannot angle right away. Yeah.
Gone are the days that you earn the turn.
Right. Okay, last one. All players, this is kind of wordy, so pay attention with me. All players in the 3 front row positions and 2 lock positions must be suitably trained for these positions. So tight 5 must be all trained. If a team cannot field any of those 5, then it is uncontested scrums. Uncontested scrums as a result of sending off, a temporary suspension, or an injury must be played with 8 players per side. So they have to bring somebody in, but that's only with uncontested scrums. If a team has less than 8 players in their scrum for any reason, the other team is required to match that amount of players in the team. So in the scrum, never have 8 versus 7, never have 8 versus 6. So in some of my high school games, I forced them to be 7 versus 7 or 6 versus 6, and they didn't understand why. It is important because it's for safety that numbers are always the same. When there's an incomplete scrum in U19, it must be formed as follows. You must have a 3-4 formation. So no number 8 when you have 7, a 2-3, a 3-2, sorry, and a 3-2. That is a requirement. They can't change away from that. Okay, so if you guys go to slido.com, on your smartphones, type in the number 303, we should be in. If you need to scan this code right here, go ahead, the QR code. And I'm hoping it's gonna work, but who knows? 303, let's see if it works. Anybody jumped in?
Yeah.
Let's see if it pops up. There you go. Okay, it's working. Okay, it's working.
I'm gonna get these all wrong, so I'm cheap.
It is a competition. I think there's points at the end. No prizes though. Oh.
No capital Glen, capital DAL.
Right, and you can't spell Lido?
At capital I. iPhone?
He's Hercules, he lost his hair.
I know, it's weird to see with no hair.
Get used to it.
You'll be faster. Look at us, you got a lot of people going.
DD and IP all capital. I think.
All right, there we go. We all in? Everybody in the room? Online?
Who's full of BS?
Okay, here we go. When should you move to the next cadence at a scrum? Yeah. Twelve out of 18 answers. So you only got 10 seconds to answer. You got to go quick. All right, and okay. So yeah, you think that when the referee is ready, but it's not when he's ready. It's when everyone else is stable. So yeah, that's the correct answer. All right. So remember, this is coming from advantage.com from Richard Every. Look here. Before we move on, always stability. Yeah. Okay. When in doubt, we should reward.
What
Yeah.
referee would do the last?
Huh?
Every referee.
Yeah, this one could be just reset depending on the situation, obviously, but we want to reward legal dominance. If there is legal dominance, don't just reset.
Not when you're tired, you just need to catch your breath.
Okay, let's see if this works. All right, tell me what the call is here. You only get to watch it twice. Let's try again.
Penalty against.
Against the other thing. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
What should be the call?
What should be the call?
What should
What are we thinking?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, kind of split, but it was legal dominance, right? So that's exactly what we're talking about. They pushed through forward straight, and New Zealand kind of fell apart. Yeah.
So, for those that thought, I assume, black pitching up was caused by blue driving them up. The one thing I always got taught in terms of a physical cue is how does the dominance start? The dominance start straight and legal? Yes. You gotta reward that dominance first before you can penalize anything else after that, right? So being quick on the whistle, being aware of the situation, being attentive towards how that dominance starts is really important, and it will prevent you from maybe penalizing blue in that situation because you see their front row come up after they had driven them 2.5 straight meters.
And just to follow up on that, when you give the signal or the call, you tell the team what is happening, you just let them know. You keep it as simple as you can. Standing up, falling away. You don't have to give more than that. The more you actually explain your calls at the scrum, the more ill-confident you sound. More you sound, like there's something that you're not sure of. But if you just say falling away, collapsing, knee down, standing up, you just keep it simple, and then it's that's all you need to give them. Okay, we got 2 more. So the difficult one, a law one. An 8th man can set up between the flank and the lock instead of between the locks. This is main.
Okay.
This is in not U19.
No variation.
Okay. So it is actually true. An 8-man can set up between the flank and the lock, and that comes from law 1917D. The players in the scrum bind the following way. And if you look at D, all other players is not the type 5 in the scrum can bind on a lock's body with at least one arm. So why would teams do this? Some teams see it as an advantage because they can get the ball quicker if they're on attack. So it's right down that channel. Sometimes they are going to predict the team is going to pick and go, so they'll put the 8-man towards that side on defense. It isn't much of an advantage, but I just wanted you guys to be aware of it in case you saw it and you thought, what is he doing? So there's a reason why he's doing it, and he's been coached that way.
In the middle of the push, can the 8 move?
No. Take up that spot originally. Cannot change his bind.
And also because we were talking about U19, and we talked about normal law variations. U19, no, they have to bind both arms onto the block.
Again, for safety. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Mike's on it. All right. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Is wheeling of the scrum ever legal? Oh, you want to raise it? One question. Just got one question. Yep, yes, it's legal. If you go straight through the mark first and then angle, you can definitely wheel. It is legal, but you cannot wheel exactly on the mark on the axis. Okay, and then if a U19 team is unable to have 8 players, I think we're kind of being a dead horse here, but the answer here is going to be the exact same number and formation, right? Good, we're on it. Okay, I think that's all the questions you got. Mark, number 2. They're all correct.
Thanks, Mike. You're welcome. Mark, how are we looking? Good. All right.
I do.
There's a box of them in there.
Oh,
There's a whistle in there.
there is a whistle.
I'm not blowing that one.
Not.
All right, everybody. To the people online, we are going to come back later and see part 2 and part 3 on YouTube. Thank you.
So I feel you